Hi, I'm James, and this is part of our MAFE alumni series, and we are speaking to Shao today. And who better to introduce yourself than you? Tell us about when you're on the course and your business and what you're doing now.
So, hi everyone, I'm Shao. I'm the founder of COCOON. So COCOON is a laundry platform that we help Asian women to find the right route. So I was graduated from the MFA course at 2021, sorry. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
That must have been a bit of a weird experience, right? So you were doing the course over the pandemic. How was that? Like properly in lockdown pandemic. What was that like?
So for us, I think for all of us in 2021 to 2021 is that we have half of the time that we actually meet each other. And then that's when the pandemic happens. And then like we turn everything to online. So personally, I would say I will probably prefer to stay in class and you have the contact or connection with real person, because then you can have communication. But I think that from all the online courses, it's actually it gave me some new kind of inspiration for in a way that, because then you have the chance to reach out to people that across the boundary. I will put it that way, because for example, we're based in London, but then we can have the chance to talk to people around the world. I think that's something kind of thanks to the pandemic, or like because of that situation, we are kind of changing how we connecting with people. So I think that's, although it's not like the very pleasant experience, but I think we still have some new lesson that we learned. And I think fortunately is that it's almost the end of the course and we started to do our essays and personal projects. So most of the time we work by ourselves, so we can find information online. So by then it didn't really cause that much of trouble for me during that final stage.
Oh, nice. And what was your master's on then? What was your project?
So my project is about body scanning and how to apply the application of it into the laundry industry in Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay, so you've handed in your master's project. What happens after that? What's the next step? What do you do after you've finished the course?
So right after the course, I stayed in London for another 4 months or so. So I was interning for a laundry startup where I worked closely with the founder, because it's just two of us. And I definitely learned a lot because I was so interested in learning everything about like what happened in the laundry industry. And then at the side, I was attending the accelerator from University of Cambridge. It's an accelerator about sustainability and also a fashion designer. So that's kind of when I trying to turn my academic project into kind of a business idea. And then afterwards, I came back to Taiwan, so yeah, I'm a Taiwanese. So I came back home, and then I directly started to work on COCOON, my startup directly, because I think for me is that's basically the reason why I joined my FA course and also my personal goal. So it's so that's kind of what I've done during this 12 months.
And so I've got two questions then. So there'll be a lot of current students watching this as well, like kind of the transition from MAFE to kind of the real world, so to speak. How did you find that? Was that like having, obviously the kind of the rigidity of the course, and then sometimes starting up your own business can sometimes feel a bit lonely, and you're kind of like, oh my goodness, I don't have all 27 Ts sitting there next to me to kind of talk this through. How did you find that?
I feel like for my fake course is that the good part is that it's definitely very business driven. So I didn't really feel like, oh, I was studying and then I do something else. It's kind of like the whole thing is connected. Like it's all the process during the process. It's like I've definitely learned a lot about how like a fashion startup could work. And then during this process, I try to build my own ability around how, as an entrepreneur, I can start my own business, and also about how I can reach out to resources and also people who can help me. And then I think that really helps me to like literally started my own business. So that's what I'm doing now. Although it's still very early stage, but I think what we learn in class and what we experience, because it's not only about like reading books, and we have a lot of like learning by doing process. I think, yeah. So it's not just sitting in the classroom, but we have a lot of chance to attending workshops, and we can directly talk to people who who are entrepreneurs or who already have a very successful business. So I think all their experience really kind of helped me to build my own business as well.
Fantastic. You briefly mentioned that you also did a sustainability accelerator at the University of Cambridge in 2020.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What did you do there?
So for this accelerator, it's mainly focusing on sustainability. So they help, especially when at that stage, I was a very early stage startup. So I kind of don't know how I can apply sustainability into my business. So during that whole process, they will assign you a mentor. So you can have one-to-one session with them, and they will directly help you to kind of review your business idea from a micro aspect, and then go into a more detailed aspect, so you will know like how the process will look like when you are starting like embarking this journey basically. And I think what I learned and what I get the most is that they really do help me to build the cocoon with this concept of how you can do everything basically around sustainability. Like it's not like you just look at one part of your business and that's sustainable and you kind of ignore the other. I think it's more like a whole like a bigger picture of how to apply sustainability into the business, and also help like early stage startups to really focus on the direction. Yeah.
So, I mean, for a lot of us here, obviously sustainability is a key theme in our business, and even myself, I'm kind of desperately trying to find the right fabrics at the moment for the kind of menswear brand that I'm looking at starting. And it becomes a bit of a trade-off, because you get to this stage of kind of price versus, you can almost price yourself out of the market given how expensive some materials are. How have you felt kind of dealing with that? And obviously you've got kind of leading into the next question, a lot of experience in kind of sourcing, right? Because you worked for Uniqlo for a few years. So yeah, kind of how does that sit with you, and how have you found that process?
Mm-hmm. So I definitely kind of resonate what you said, because when I first came back, I was trying to talk to suppliers and also manufacturers here, but since we are too small, it's always very like difficult because of the cost, because of the amount of fabric and resources or materials that you will need. So I guess what I learned, I can share this experience. What I learned from the accelerator is that, for example, when I'm trying to find people who can sew the bra for me, so I kept thinking that I have to, build a whole group of seamstresses and then like run the business all by myself. But then my mentor kind of gave me this new idea about cooperatives. So he's saying that there will be organization that they have all these human resources, so you can reach out to them. So they don't have to work full time for you, but you can. It's more like a case by case kind of working style. So you can reach out to them and then kind of communicate how they can help you with it. So I think there's still a lot of possibility for smaller scale business to definitely to fulfill your goal. It's just it kind of I feel like that networking is very important, because then you will have the chance to reach out to people that actually can help you, or they already have the experience collaborating with this smaller factory. So it will always be great to talk to more people, so you will know like if they actually have the ability to help you as well. And on the other side, I would say working in the like international cooperation, like Uniqlo, is definitely very different, because our self is already very big scale, that we have 65 stores in Taiwan, just Taiwan. And then, so like around the world, it's probably like 1,000, I guess, or a couple of hundred. So how we do the sourcing there is that we monitor the sales for each stores. So then we can see like which items sell better in which store. So then we can kind of dispatch or assign the right amount of stock to that store. And then we also have to check that, because there will be difference of kind of this selling power of different stores. So some of them are bigger, so they can sell better of a certain item. When at the same time there will be a smaller stores which they always have kind of like leftover stock they could never sell, so you have to move their stock to the bigger store. So it's kind of like that. And I'm sure that for the merchandising department, they will kind of encounter the same thing. It's just for each country we will have a goal for each year, so then you will have to buy the amount of materials that you need to reach that kind of sales goal. So I definitely think that the startup and the bigger corporation are thinking in a very different kind of way. And I would not recommend that to use the strategy from the bigger company to a startup, because personally I feel like it's very, very totally like different.
Yeah. So let's go to your business then. So you got this internship. Were you continuing your business on the side as well as kind of working at this internship then, or did you kind of have two very separate, working and then starting your business kind of thing? Or how did you find the demands of kind of, I guess, moving your kind of master's project into real life, but also at the same time working? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are probably doing something similar, like kind of working a kind of more of a 9-to-5 job and then doing their business at the weekend, kind of in the evenings.
Yeah, so for personal experience is that when I was doing the intern, I was also thinking about how to start COCOON and how to run COCOON. So like at the side, I was always trying to write down what I learned from the intern and then see how I can turn it into strategy or a business model for COCOON. But then for now, I'm like 100% focusing like doing this. I didn't do other jobs at the same time, because I feel like I will need like 100% concentration on this to make it work. And also there become more things I have to deal with. So I don't think for me, I don't think I can do like a lot of things at the same time now. But before I have this idea, I do have this full-time job. So I guess for people who are thinking of maybe they're still in employment, but they're looking to start their own business, I think during that time, I was kind of preparing at the same time. I keep trying, talking to people who I think might be my target audience. So I will kind of examine my idea during that process. So I will think that I will ask them about questions about how do they think of if I do something, or what's their pain point at the moment, so I can check if this match my business model. So that's kind of the very, very early stage of how Cocoon start. And then I guess when you kind of have that, you will know that when you are ready, then you can, I think that's the time when you can turn 100%, like put 100% of your effort and time into your business.
So let's have a look at the international side of your business. So you're based in Taiwan, but obviously you've got experience in London. How do you find the kind of the culture of the business and the differences between Taiwan and kind of the UK market?
I will say, surprisingly, when I came back here, the whole startup environment is better than I think. So I keep thinking that, but I will have to say that in London or in UK, the startup kind of situation is definitely more mature than what we have here. And also, I would say especially for fashion industry, that's not really our focus here, because for the startup here, I think they put more resources and emphasis on something around technology, IoT, and something about medical technology. So that's kind of what we, most of the startup here are focusing, and also about sustainability. So in terms of fashion, I think we still need more like efforts here to let people know what it is all about, because I think we never really have much of the startup doing innovation around fashion or apparel here, because our concept is more about OEM and ODM. That's how Taiwan is good at. And also about, we have fabrics that is very, having really great quality. But in terms of startups, I don't think people really understand what we're doing here at the moment. So every time I'm talking to people, I will have to explain, from scratch, like, okay, so this is a startup about, and then you have to use stories to, grab their attention. So I think it's difficult, but also at the same time, it's a good opportunity, because then we have less competitors. I will convince myself that way. Yeah, but I definitely feel when I was in London, I get a lot of resources there, especially around LCF, around UAL, because a lot of industry, you can doing this collaboration, cross-industry collaboration, because they kind of, people that here in London definitely know better of how maybe there will be more chances if we can work with people with very different mindset or very different background. So I think that's a good part, and I definitely learned a lot from that. So it's kind of my mission now. I also want to bring that to Taiwan and really build this environment to be a better, like, fashion friendly startup environment now. Yeah.
Have you so are you in touch with other kind of Taiwanese fashion brands and kind of the community there? What are they doing as well? What are they up to?
So there are a few doing let me think of a example. So one is that they trying to build app. It's kind of like a clothes swapping app. That's one of the girls that I know. So they started from their uni because they're trying to do, like, students exchanging their clothes, and then now they are turning it into an app. So that's one. And also I know a very new, I think they launched maybe last year, end of last year. So they're trying to build this circular fashion brand about when you can buy from them, and then once the clothes goes to the end of its life, you can return it to them, so they can make a new clothes out of the old clothes you recycle. So that's one of the startup here as well. So there's still a lot of people. I feel like there are more people trying to get into this area now, which is a good thing. And yeah, and especially more, many of them are focusing on sustainability, like fashion sustainability. So I think that's definitely a good thing because then we can all work together. It's just once you want to get more resources or support from the government or from the enterprise, I think that would need more time for us to explain or show them that this business model can work, so they will trust us. And I think by then we will have definitely more resources and people will be interested in joining as well, so we can become a bigger power, I think.
Oh, great, fantastic. So, final question from me then.
Yeah.
What's the future? What's the future hold for COCOON then? What's the next steps?
So I would say I pivot a lot during this year because initially I want to do body scanning, but then I realized that that will definitely be too high the cost for me at this stage. So I kind of change how the business will look like, and then we are trying to build this platform, and we are now kind of sharing content with our target audience about how they can measure by themselves. So for us, we think that it will probably be better if our audience know better of what's the importance of measuring themselves and what's the importance of wearing the right fit bra. So it's kind of this mutual thing that. So we change the whole business to building this platform so people can just insert a certain essential data. So then we can recommend then of the bra they should wear. So that's kind of the what we are working on now, and we're already collecting about like 2,000 measuring data. So we are trying to leverage that and then really build our platform. So there's a lot of different things involved. So we are working on how we can make this recommendation system like credible at the same time, and how we can reach out to people who will trust us and give them their personal information and data, because it's about breasts. So there's this privacy issue as well. So for laundry industry, I guess it's kind of a different level for me. And I'm trying, but still we have a lot of support, and we got a really positive feedbacks from our users and people around us about they really do hope that we can launch this platform as soon as possible. So that's kind of the goal, the short-term goal for us now. And hopefully we can introduce more brands and introduce more bra styles for Asian bra wearers. So that's kind of like the ultimate goal for us.
Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing how you guys progress. You're on Instagram, so people can follow you there, right?
Yeah. So you can search for at cocoon.bra. So there you can find us. But I will have to say it's all mostly in Chinese now because Taiwanese people are our target audience now. But we will definitely have more information content in the future, which we hopefully will be in English as well. So more people can understand and we can help more women to find the right bra.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time today. And yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
I am going to try and stop recording.
Okay. I don't know if this is okay. I kind of